Otis.
Back in the old days when we had the coronavirus around, that's how we communicated. We had Zoom calls.
Bernie.
Sometimes you froze up on the Zoom calls.
And one time I got caught with one of those filters. I was a cat. I was a cat the whole freaking time.
That story is fantastic.
So he logged into his court case on Zoom. The judge is there, his lawyer's there, the other side's lawyer's there. He pops in, and he's literally a cat's face with big eyes.
The best part is somehow the filter reads your eyes, and so that cat's eyes are just darting back and forth.
And you hear the guy saying, Judge, I'm sorry, sir. You can tell he's an older man. I'm sorry, sir. Somehow one of these filters got turned on. We can proceed if you'd like to. I just want you to know I'm not really a cat.
I do love we can proceed if you'd like, meaning I can't get rid of the cat, but I'll argue the case as the cat if you'd like.
This is Weird with Otis and Bernie.
Welcome back, man. Week off, spring break, everything going on in life.
Spring break.
Going to the beach, going back home, and I've just been traveling like crazy, so it's hard to connect.
Yeah, we had trouble getting together last week, and
show can take a spring break.
There you go. I mean, tens of people were very upset.
The emails that I received.
I mean,
I hear them, and I hear you, and we're back. I'm sorry.
People need to calm your tits. We're taking a week off. Deal with it. Calm down.
I was honored during the week off.
That's part of the reason you were gone. You were doing your wacky Hall of Fame.
Thank you for calling it wacky
induction thing. Well, I mean, really, let's talk about their judgment. They put you into the Hall of Fame of your college, and you had to give a speech. I was excited.
Leading up to it, I'm like, how do I do this speech? Because it's for a bunch of radio people. I haven't been in front of this many radio people in years.
That's right.
There definitely aren't that many people in my cluster.
It's because there's not enough radio people together because there's not enough people working together in radio.
So I was going back and forth with how I should do it. One suggestion in my head was there's a TikTok sound where Snoop Dogg is like doing a speech. I think it's like an awards speech for like MTV award or something like that. And he's like, I'd like to thank myself. I'd like to thank my drive. I'd like to thank me for doing, it was like going on and on. So I was like, how fitting in 2022 would it be for me to start my whole speech just doing a TikTok video?
I mean,
miming that.
That's a game. That is a gamble, but okay.
A super gamble.
Gamble.
Glad I didn't go with that one because I was one of the youngest inductees. So they might not have all known TikTok. Yeah, the older crowd there would have been like, what is he doing? Why is he miming Snoop Dogg right now? This is weird.
Yeah.
Talked myself out of that one.
Okay.
The other suggestion was, what if Bernie wrote my entire speech?
We kicked that idea around of me just writing the speech and you not reading it ahead of time
until I got onto the microphone. Thank you for inviting me out here today. Let me
just like here's an envelope, and I'm just gonna open the envelope. So my podcast partner wrote this, and I have not seen it yet, and just light you up in the speech with you not having ever read it, which was my favorite idea, and we didn't do it.
I apologize for not having the balls to just go through with that because I think,
oh my God, your speech would have been so racist.
I would not have let anybody in on the joke until the end of the speech. I wouldn't have told the crowd that I was reading a speech you wrote. I would have just, like in Practical Jokers, I would have sat there and read it.
Yeah,
and tried to make it through it with a straight face.
That's it.
But
I mean, you could have done it either way. You could have either held it till the end or said to everybody, like held up the envelope and went, my podcast partner wrote this. Here we go. And then just open it in front of everybody and then just start reading it.
Yeah, I think either way could have been quite humorous. And that shows how much I don't trust you.
Right. It's fantastic to be honored in white would be how it would have started. It would have
crickets,
been,
just crickets.
Nothing.
A couple whispers in the back, like, "Oh my god,
What's he doing? He's doing a bit.
He's doing it. He's doing a radio bit right now. This is weird. Doing a radio bit for a bunch of radio people."
Would have been fantastic.
I definitely didn't want to take the speech in a real serious way. I mean,
no, I don't think
it was a great honor. I'm so like pleased and happy, and it was just a great feeling. It was a cool. I don't want to take away from the award because it was awesome. However, it's a bunch of radio people, so there's going to be jokes. So
of course, there's going to be jokes.
Yeah. So I tied in a little bit of serious, a little bit of jokey jokes, and I think it went well. I think I didn't have the best speech of the night. I'll say that. There was a couple other morning guys that were real like on it.
Yeah.
They were ready for it.
Our friends Meredith and AJ, Meredith got in, and I want to have both Meredith and AJ on the podcast, and I keep telling you that.
Yes, I saw them. They were amazing. And Meredith's speech was awesome, but AJ come up to me after mine, and he's like, when you said the TikTok joke, I almost fell out of my seat because I've gotten 14 emails about how much better we would be if we did TikTok. I led into the joke with somewhere in the middle of my speech. I said, well, Deb, there's two things I kind of want to address with you. Deb was our faculty advisor who's still there. She's the woman that runs the entire place. Everybody loves her. She was thanked in everybody's speech because she just was an amazing coach, an amazing human being.
Right.
So I said, Deb, there's two things I want to address with you. I still know how, for some reason, to splice a reel to reel, yet I've not used it one time in my career. So thank you for that lesson.
There you go. It is the algebra of radio. And never really use it, but we all know how to do it.
So that got a good laugh because everybody in the room had learned reel to reel. So some in the room had used reel to reel.
Yeah, right.
If you don't know what that is, if you've ever seen a machine in like Elvis's studio when you went to Memphis, it's the two huge reels that just kind of wind to each. It's like a giant cassette tape, but an actual machine.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I made that joke, and then I said, secondly, you never told me at all or hinted to the fact that I'd be 40 years old and somebody would be telling me, you need to be better at TikTok.
Right. Yeah.
So AJ loved that joke.
Yeah. There you go. Well, congratulations. It is, no kidding. It is an honor that you got to do that. It's an honor that nobody came up and punched you in the middle of the speech. Which is another thing. I thought about telling you that AJ should come up and slap you in the middle of the speech.
Actually,
I thought about doing that.
My brother-in-law was at the table, and we sort of discussed at the beginning. I said, He said, what if somebody walked up and said, smacked you in the face and just yelled, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And I was like, oh God, yes, you should do that. You should do that.
Slap the shit out of you and then sat down and recreated the entire moment. I mean, win the night. You would have won the night.
Everybody in the room would have absolutely, and it was timely.
Great.
It would have been so timely.
Would have worked. Oh my
I missed
God,
that one
would that
too.
have worked? I would have considered coming up to the thing, driving the however many hours it would have taken me to drive just to smack the shit out of you and yell, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Like, I would have considered driving just to do that.
Oh, that would have been amazing. But
oh, it'd be great.
Again, I don't know that the university president who was sitting there would have completely enjoyed that joke.
So good.
But
so good.
I never would have been invited back. Like Will Smith.
Like Will Smith.
But
but you know what? There's only one Hall of Fame. So you only need to be invited one time.
One time. Yeah, I'm not going to be inducted a second time.
Exactly.
For sure.
You're not a double inductee.
God, I should have gone with that too. That's two fails.
I would have driven up there.
I apologize to our podcast audience because I failed on both of those levels. This would have been amazing for this episode.
Why are you going? I would have told my wife, why are you driving? She would have said, why are you driving to Illinois? I'm driving to smack the shit out of Otis. I'm going up for 30 seconds. And I would have kept it quiet. Like I would have been
slap the shit out of me.
Like I would have been in a suit. And it was like there would have been a few people. I know a few people there. AJ would have said, Bernie, why are you here? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about why I'm here. Hey, Bernie, why'd you here? Don't worry about it. And then in a moment, just walk up and smash the shit out of you. Just like, that's all it would have been. And then I would have left.
Yeah. I'm talking about TikTok, and you just walk up and smash the
shit. Keep my wife's name
out your mouth. Okay, I will.
Oh, would have been a joke the joke wouldn't have worked 48 hours later.
No, it would have been perfection at that, though.
Beauty. It would have been pure beauty.
My father almost created some moments that were quite embarrassing.
Get out of town. That's never happened.
So let me just quickly about my father. He loves to be the center of attention.
Okay.
He just has to capture the room, whatever it be. If we're sitting at a table, if we're in a group of people that we don't know, I think it's like his awkwardness, his like nervousness in the situation turns into like, hey, look at me, I'm a clown.
That's like that's his defense reaction. Like that's his coping mechanism is to just like waka, waka, waka,
I think he listens to our podcast sometimes, so this might get me in trouble. But Dad, you are like a goofy clown in a room. Like he thinks he's hilarious, and sometimes he'll hit, but 97% of the time, it's just people like with awkward eyes.
Oh wow, you're giving him a 3% success rate.
Who claims this guy? Is anybody?
3% success rate is not a great success rate.
They're dad jokes. There's a lot of dad jokes.
Look, okay, all right.
So anyway, my father. Now you know him.
Yeah.
I went in knowing that there was going to be some awkwardness at moments that were brought on by my father, where it was like, please stop. Please don't do that here.
Do I have to do this here? Are we doing this here?
God love him. He's a great man. But so he got this new camera equipment, and that's his new hobby, is taking photos of everything with this $1,000 camera that he bought and telling everybody about it that'll listen.
Okay.
So was most of the night. My father was finding the people who were paid to be at the event to take photos and videos of the event.
Yes.
To tell them about his photo equipment and how great a pic showing the. So he would turn down the camera and click the pictures.
Hey, look at this. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm taking these pictures. Look at this.
These people are working. They're trying to do their job. Some of them were students who were just learning about events. They're you're at a college. They utilize the students for free labor, but they teach them in the moment. And my father is over there. You know what kind of camera this is? This is a IDX 35723. Yeah, it's got the scope lens on here. Let me show you a couple pictures I took of the moon.
Look at this. This is my dog. I got one of my dog here, and
these people are like, sir, I'm just trying to take pictures of people. I have to take pictures of the event. So those are great pictures. I got to take some.
Those are good. No, those are good, sir.
So then I see him. He's sitting at our table first off when the event starts, when finally the speeches are going, and he goes, you know what? I think when you get up there, I'm going to go over to the corner and take some photos from over there. I can get a better angle. I was like, okay, corner's fine. Corner's fine, but please stay at the corner. Can you, if you go to the corner, please stay over there at the corner. So midway through my speech, I'm already nervous. I got jokes I'm trying to land. I see him move towards the center of the room. I'm just like in my so
here we go.
My anxiety kicks in because I know my father. I'm in the middle of a speech of people, and I'm like, and then that's when oh fuck, Dad, please, God, no, God, Dad, that's what's going on in my head. Like, Dad,
down front, Otis, down front.
He goes to the center of the room.
Stop, Otis. I'm down here. Can you stop for a sec? You know, here's the thing.
Big ass camera. He's got a whole setup. So he's just setting it up.
Looks like he's surveilling somebody. He looks like he's been hired by a private investigator.
At one point, he tells the professional photographer, I think it was a student photographer, but he was there.
Right, the one that was representing the university.
He says, "Hey, watch out. watch out. I need to get a shot here.
Hey, I'm trying to
Literally
work
pushed him
here.
out of the way. I didn't see that when I was doing the speech. Britt told me after the fact. He's like, he pushed that photographer out of the way
Here's the
to get
thing.
a better shot.
Here's the thing. Another reason why I could have derailed the entire thing. Like, whatever happened, I could have derailed the entire thing if I came up to the front of the room and smacked the shit out of you. Like, whatever problem there was, we could have headed off at the pass by just smacked the shit out of you. Just like, that would be great.
You're right. You're right.
It would have been great. Like, whatever problem they had would have been, I could have trumped whatever problem they had by the fact that I just walked up and smacked the piss out of you.
It would have been phenomenal.
It would be great.
While I was reading the speech that
you were reading the speech.
So pushing the photographer out of the way was pretty bad. But then in the middle of the room were the buffet tables where we had just gotten our food and eaten before the ceremony. Some of the food was still out, not the like meats and stuff, but like either the salads and rolls, things people can grab at their whim when they just want to nibble. And my father decides that he still doesn't have a good shot.
He's standing in the rolls.
I can't even make this up. Pushes the salad bowl over across the table, out of the way, and sits down on the buffet table to start snapping shots.
In my mind, scooting that table over, that table makes a loud noise.
Oh,
in a quiet room, like in a quiet room, all you hear is, I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And everybody swivels around to look at him. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get a shot.
Yeah. So at this point I've gone from all right, let's see what happens here. I'm ready for this. So
let's go.
This is gonna be fine. And while I'm still speaking,
right,
but my head's doing another thing. And it did not happen, but as you were thinking, you're like, I just picture it like a really loud noise and people look. Just what I pictured in my head is, when you jump on one of those big blobs in the middle of a lake on one end, and then the thing shoots off of the other end. I just pictured the table collapsing on the end that he sat on, and then the whole everything that was still on, like the cake that was still on the other side goes and just throws into
any number of things.
Again, that did not happen, but that would have been a phenomenal way to like close out this ceremony after I had been smacked, was reading about my white supremacy from Bernie's speech.
I tell you, we could have done this. You didn't let me close enough to your process. You did not.
My dad shoots cake up to the stage area.
You gave
all over the president of the university.
You gave a respectable speech that could have been a racist debacle. Like it could have been a racist debacle, and you opted not to. And
it ends up on like ESPN for the very first reason ever. Yeah. Well, we're gonna cut now to a speech at a Hall of Fame ceremony. I know this feels weird, but it's at a university, so we can.
Here's a Hall of Fame ceremony where it's this guy going in, and the boom goes the Dynamite Kid.
Right. Yeah. Just watch this video that we captured from Twitter.
Yeah, right.
I believe this is the speech person's father. He was sitting on the buffet table.
It goes viral in the way that like a drunk maid of honor giving a bad speech goes viral. Like you become that person. It's like he's not as attractive as Jeff. Like he should like.
I will say this, since you went in on the, your relationship with your parents for a little bit on one episode.
Yes.
My father has a way of like accepting responsibility, accepting credit where credit may not be due.
He just takes the credit when the credit is not there. Yeah.
So I finished the speech. I thought I did well, got some good laughs. The room was into it, I think. I went a little long. Should have shortened up a little. Walk
Slap.
off feeling okay, though. The
Slap
table
could have
did
been
not
better.
collapse on my father. Most people, I think, didn't realize that this dude was anywhere related to me, even though he's kind of awkward in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Because he definitely wasn't, like, it was obvious he was not part of the event. Just a doting father. And Dad, God love you. Thank you for loving me and being proud like that. I walk over to the table. I'm feeling good. And he goes, "Hey, you didn't bring up that time when I taught you how to do radio when you were like 7.
Oh.
I said, well, Dad, it was kind of about college. So I kind of focused on how I started my career in college here. He's like, yeah, but it would have been awesome if you said something about me and how I gave you that radio at 7 and taught you how to record things. I was, yeah,
Wow.
you're right, Dad. That would have, I should have made the whole speech about you.
You're right. You're right. Good point. You make valid
point.
points.
I love you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So that was my night. And my father continued on from that evening. Actually, matter of fact, when the ceremony gets over, everybody's done their speech. I go, Dad, we're going to go over and look at my award, my plaque that's going to be on the wall there. I hadn't seen it yet. But we're going to go walk over to take some pictures with it. He's like, all right, cool. I'm going to go over here and take some pictures. Okay.
Right.
Fine. And so I just was like, whatever, do your thing. I start going over to the thing and Britt goes, oh my God, he's over there just pulling up on people's faces randomly and going, smile.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. He's like, just photo bombing people out of nowhere that he doesn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we have what I believe is I guess we're doing this now. I have a fantastic OJ Simpson video from this week.
We've got more OJ.
I've got an OJ video that is the fascinating thing about OJ is that he lacks any sense of irony with the things that he's saying, and that we know him from exactly one thing. And so coming up here in just a second, why is OJ congratulating the New York Police Department? We'll do that next.
This is weird.
Welcome back in. This is weird, and thank you for joining us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can see the show and you can hear the show and you can do all kinds of stuff. This is weird. And we stumbled on this a couple of weeks ago. OJ Simpson has a Twitter feed, and we know OJ from exactly one thing. Now, anybody that is there anybody that when you say OJ Simpson, the Rorschach test in everybody's mind is football player? Like nobody remembers like that.
Mine's more like Naked Gun. I'm like, oh, Naked Gun.
Nordberg. No, it's not that. It's OJ Simpson, double murderer. Like that's what you jump to when
Yes.
when you hear OJ's name.
Anybody past the 90s that was a part of that at all, or even the youth that didn't live through it. That's probably they're like, oh yeah, that guy killed people, right?
He's infamous now for killing his wife and her friend allegedly, even though was not convicted for that, though he spent time in jail for stealing his own shit. Like that's what we know OJ for now. And so he has a Twitter account where he just gives hot takes on things. We had him giving a hot take on the Will Smith slap. And now there was I don't want you to think that we're making light of the tragedy in New York that happened on the subway. A man went onto the subway and shot people. But OJ, of course, in the face of this terrible tragedy, of all of the people whose opinions you want in the matter, OJ Simpson stepped in and said,
this is the thing with OJ. It's that he keeps picking these events that are just like not something for him to chime in on. Like we're good. Like we can watch CNN. We can catch Fox News. We can turn on something where people have an expert opinion on this tragedy, how we should go about our lives afterwards, and who did it, all that stuff.
There are people that are experts on mass shootings whose opinions that I value. But here's OJ stepping in and making his thoughts known about the tragedy in New York.
Yours truly on this other coast. Still enjoying my time here at one of my favorite breakfast spots.
Okay. number one, if you own that particular restaurant, hey, thanks for the pub, OJ. Appreciate the fact that you come out so often and that you enjoy it.
He's trying for the endorsement money right now.
Your thoughts on the juice endorsing this?
Anyway, look at this. Look how beautiful this is.
It's nice.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
OJ on vacation spots. I could be okay with that. OJ telling us good vacation spots.
I'm OJ Simpson for Verbo. Like, yeah. By the way, you notice no one else is in the restaurant. You know why? No. Because OJ is sitting there eating breakfast and nobody wants to be the person sitting next to OJ.
Have you seen though, occasionally when he's having like dinner or something, there's a woman, like a blonde young woman that's very eerily much like
is he hanging out with a young blonde woman?
Yes, it's creepy. That makes it even creepier. But anyway, I digress.
Anyway, I started my morning watching the news like I always do, sports news, regular news. The big story is
like, yeah, right. We all watch the news. We all have our own opinion.
Describing the news. Thank you.
We get it.
You were on it a lot.
The subway, so unfortunate. I was a little, put off by the news that I've watched today because they seem to be spending a little too much time on the cameras not working. 3 cameras that weren't working.
To give you a little bit of background, there were cameras, the subway camera. There were a lot of cameras that weren't functional that could have helped expedite cops catching this guy more quickly. And they found that those cameras were not operational for whatever reason.
Right. He's like,
OJ.
Yeah, it's a lot like Nicole's house. The cameras weren't working.
It's right. Yeah. This guy is super up on security now. Like
I'm OJ Simpson for your security home service.
It's been OJ for Simply Safe. Like, it's not like, of all of the people, I've seen some security systems in my day. Let me tell you, they were not on top of their security there.
All right, OJ.
On the cameras not working, 3 cameras that weren't working. Anybody that has security cameras at their homes, they know sometimes they go off. What they should be doing is giving kudos to the New York Police Department.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing.
OJ's endorsing the police.
It's amazing
2022
in every single way. Like, just it's with his history and with the police department. Like, it's wonderful and it's amazing. And
let me tell you, who's terrible at their job? The LAPD. The NYPD.
If this had happened in LA, those sons of bitches can jump off a bridge. But NYPD, you guys got it going on.
To the New York Police Department for running down a suspect this quickly. I mean, consider this guy had on a COVID mask and nobody other than maybe his size could.
Yeah, he had some gloves on. They caught his gloves, and then he sent the weapon to Chicago. Wait, no,
he could have taken off on that white Bronco that he had. Oh, that was a U-Haul? It was a white U-Haul. My fault.
Jeez.
Describe who he was, and they already have a suspect, and I think they should be given kudos for that, and hopefully they'll have him in custody before the day's over.
When you think solid police work, you think O.J. Simpson.
NCIS, OJ. It's a crime scene investigation. He knows how to find a suspect fast.
By the way, and we don't have to go any further, but I do want to point out, just as a transition, this is OJ's Twitter feed. He goes from unironically congratulating the NYPD to talking about Tom Brady immediately.
Obviously, I'm watching some sports, and I watched one guy today who seemed to be pretty vehement that Brady came back.
Anyway, so he gets to talk about Brady. That's the transition that he made.
Is he trying for a gig? Is that what he's doing with this?
I don't know. It's amazing.
It would be so much better if he's really trying to be a commentator on something.
I hear that Amazon's getting football, and if you're looking for the juice is loose. Let me tell you.
All right. So after all of that, even though nobody asked OJ for his opinion on the Brooklyn shooting, last person we want to hear from on that opinion. Did he add anything to the conversation?
No, he's not. There's not something. You didn't say anything at the end of the take where you're like, good point, Juice.
Yeah. Juice. You're gosh,
you know what,
I'm so
Juice?
glad I heard that.
Your experience in crime brings a new perspective to what it is. Your experience in dealing with municipal police departments is really adding something to this.
Elon, when you buy Twitter, please cancel his. Please.
I don't.
Still send us the feed. We want the feed.
It's great. It's just him reviewing the news of the day
every week.
We're
going to have the new OJ
unironic thing. We're going to do it every week until we get tired of it. Like it's fantastic.
What's your thoughts, OJ? What would OJ do?
What does OJ think about Tom Brady coming back into the NFL? By the way, at the end of that video, I don't. He's like, he endorses both the Cincinnati Bengals as a team to look out for. Why? What are you doing, Juice? Number 2, and he comes back with, of course, my Bills are looking to do something. Go Bills! And the Bills fans are like, easy, Juice. That was 35 years ago.
I still have the jersey, but we don't talk about when you were here.
We don't talk about OJ.
We don't talk about
OJ.
No.
There's Bills fans. So yeah, I got a video. Actually, no, I don't have a video. I've got a still picture.
Okay.
Of a woman, 105 years old. She is believed to be the oldest woman to ever get this. Otis.
Gonorrhea.
I'm sorry, we were looking for nope, I'm sorry, we were looking for a tattoo.
Oh,
a tattoo.
Okay.
A 105-year-old Brazilian woman turned 105 years of age on April the 7th, and she now, according to the Guinness World Records, has gotten a tattoo. She is a great-great-grandmother. And would you like to see her ink?
I'm nervous, but yes.
There we go. There's grandma. She
went with the coochie roses.
She went with the tippy top of her legs, her thighs,
top thighs, very close to the nether regions. And those are the most white trash tattoos I've ever seen in my life.
Really
like, if you picture a woman at a trailer park with a rose, like the rose that person would get, that is what she has on her leg. She couldn't have found a good artist.
That is a new tattoo on some really old skin, is what that is. That's like painting rotten wood.
Oh.
That's like if you have a piece of rotten wood
the whole time.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why it's not good, because he's like, oh god, this skin is just so flaky right
so
now. I
yeah,
can't get the ink.
There's a lot of give in this skin. I can't get my needle to take hold.
She walked in and she's like, I want so you've ever seen Pamela Anderson in like 82, the arm tat she had? I want that like right near my crotch. Can you do that? Like the trashy days of Pamela Anderson, that kind of tattoo.
You think you could tattoo my puss? No, we're not doing that. We're not.
I'll tell you what George likes. He likes the tattoos up by the coochie.
I want to put a tramp stamp that says juicy.
OJ, your thoughts?
Juicy. I like it. I like it. I mean, God love her. She's doing something she wants.
How old is she?
105.
And she's still getting tats. I'm cool with that. Like that's kind of gangster about her.
She didn't get her first one until she was in her late 90s.
Should we take a guess on if she has a tramp stamp? Like, do you think she's got a lower back, like dolphin?
I don't know.
I feel like she might. I want to know, is there any backstory on her? Did she have a career in her youth?
Let's see.
I would guess stripper was at some point.
She was born in born in Brazil in 1917, has 18 children. Well, that should give you some idea of why the skin is loose. She has kids, grandkids. She has a family that she can, between kids and grandkids and kids of kids. The family is over 100 people. Her grandson accompanied her to get her latest tattoo. He said the tattoo idea first came on her 90th birthday. I thought it was a joke, but she took it seriously. Not only did she get that one, but she got others at the ages of 98 and 101.
Her grandson said, I don't recommend that tattoo shop. It had a real like fishy stench, but the tattoos are wonderful.
I mean, they're not bad as They're white. You're right. They're white trash, but they're not bad white trash.
Is there a good white trash?
Well, I mean, they're not
tattoo?
like they're okay tattoos. It's a terrible idea.
She might as well just got like a garter with a gun. You know, like,
I mean, there were like, yes, is it
other white trash
trashy?
choices.
Yes, it's trashy, but she could have gone trashier. I mean,
well, here's the thing. If she loves tattoos this much, she has none on her arms. Could we have not have gone? Like, why did we have to go
look
upper
at her
thigh with the
arms.
trashiest tattoo?
You couldn't get anything to stay on those arms.
Oh,
They had to find the most taut piece of skin they could find.
She was younger once, so I'm surprised she didn't have sleeves. I mean, if you're gonna go in, go in.
Well, but she didn't start until she was old.
The problem with tattoos, and I love them. I have tattoos. You can see if you watch our YouTube video, but is when you get 102 years old, they're not necessarily the tattoo you got originally. Like
exactly, those tattoos are going to age well because she's going to die soon.
Those ones, that ink will be fresh.
That ink will be fresh. People will look at her lifeless body and go, "Oh, those are good tattoos. They held up."
They're now making tattoos. I don't know if you saw this, that have like a year lifespan. So
that'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
The ink degrades over like a year span, so you can now get a temporary permanent tattoo.
They should have done that for her. And see which one expired first.
Maybe she's the experiment.
She's the experiment. See if grandma goes or the tattoo goes first.
Hey, thug life for grandma. I got to give her credit at least for that, for being like so gangster she can go get tattoos. I love
just
that.
Across her stomach, it just says like familia. It's just like there you go, grandma. We have a viradius either for the week.
We can do a quick one. I just found this video and it made me laugh out loud. You've seen the animals that there's been a few videos that come out every so often of an animal doing something very human. Like there's been a squirrel that grabbed a cigarette and was puffing on it in a park.
I love animals doing the human things. Always. I'm always in on animals doing human things.
There was a New York pizza rat. That was just carrying it.
Pizza rat.
Pizza rat.
By the way, having just gone to New York, I can tell you that animals are tougher in New York. New York animals, if you're in New York, I think that Disney animation has taught us that animals
if you see the animals in New York, they're bigger, they look like they are on on steroids and lift weights,
right?
And then they group together occasionally, and if you listen closely, you can hear, all right guys, guess what's gonna happen. I'm gonna need all of you to go out. Skinny Jimmy, you're gonna do the killing tonight.
It's the animals are tough in New York, and I think we can all agree
that was a terrible
it was awful. It was terrible. I was trying to get past it.
So the Smoking Cockroach is now New York's latest mascot. Okay. The Smoking Cockroach. So,
oh, look at that. That's a cockroach that's got a cigarette.
It's a big old cigarette, but he's just carrying it down a back alley. Like he's just going to try to find a spot to sit down and smoke.
It's a living.
Yeah, imagine the cockroach sounds like he's been smoking for 47 years.
You know what New York hasn't been. I'll tell you when New York was New York, the 1980s.
that cockroach definitely listened to Sinatra at some point.
I tell you what, there hasn't been any goddamn music worth anything since Blue Eyes died.
That's that cockroach.
That's what that cockroach is doing. Tell you what, I was in the very first audience at Cats.
Some people would say that is a roach with a roach.
That is. That's great.
Is he the Snoop Dogg of roaches? He's just over here like.
He is. Look at that.
That's just carrying it. Would you expect anything else from a roach in New York than to have a giant cigarette?
I would not. That's basically that roach is probably going to an apartment that's bigger than most of the people that live there. I tell you what, don't knock rent control. I got a rent control. I got a great deal. It's fantastic.
Somebody needs to buy that cockroach a cocktail and just learn about his life. Like that guy's got stories.
There's a movie there. There's a movie there.
I think there is one. Isn't there a movie of like Joe's Place or Joe's Apartment?
Joe's, yeah. Wow, what a pull. What a pull. What a random pull that was. Joe's something. Joe's Apartment, or it was on MTV, and early 90s.
The comment section of the post is pretty awesome too. Like somebody said, "How did they find this video of my ex?" Somebody said it's one of the roaches from Men in Black. I could see that in that movie too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's like an alien. He's like, I've been on this earth for way too long.
I tell you what's gonna survive when the nuclear war comes. Me. It's gonna be two of us here, and it's not gonna be you.
Somebody said, "How dare he? He's not 25 feet from an entrance."
That roach had to get that cigarette at a bodega.
I'm pretty positive there's some sort of mask mandate where that roach is as well. So it's New York.
I know.
Not wearing a mask.
I'll tell you what, I'm not doing, wearing a goddamn mask. Not wearing a mask, I'll tell you that much.
You want to see the video? We're gonna put it on our YouTube channel, so definitely go check that out. But there you go. The smoking cockroach.
New York was so much better in the 1980s.
He's been to the disco. He used to wear
this city hasn't been alive since Studio 54 was a thing.
Let me tell you my time in Nam. When I was a cockroach, just a baby cockroach in Nam, I was a teenager. That's why I came over on a boat to New York City. Been here ever since.
They call it the city that never sleeps, and this is why. Up all night smoking.
He's had a hard day's work. He just was looking for just some sort of like back door to have just a couple, pulls,
It's a good episode.
Relax a little bit.
It's a good episode. A lot going on in this episode of This Is Weird. One of our finest. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of it on social media and following us on social media. Thank you for checking it out on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook, and download the podcast. We appreciate you.
I'll update you soon on if my father ever talks to me again after this. So
that'd be great. Well, you know what? That's what we're doing with the podcast. We're ruining families. That's ruining families. So we'll talk to you next time on the program. See you.
This is Weird.